Our story begins with a Moogle harassing adventurers, trying to find someone who wants to learn painting. Pictomancy, to be more precise, the art of bringing your imagination to life. Created by the Archon realm at the end of the 5th Astral Era, she used her brush to aid those affected by the War of the Magi. We obviously accept the proposal. Kupopo is his name, and he only owns the one soul crystal, so he wants us to go through an interview process. Most of the questions are about helping people in need, therefore we pass with flying colours. One thing to note, the soul crystal itself comes with some strings attached. As long as we help him search for his dear friend whenever a lead comes up, he'll let us take the crystal. We accept the conditions, as any Pictomancer should, and in return we are given a set of garments and a brush. The first thing to do is accompany him begging for forgiveness for the trouble he has caused the hero. In doing so, we learn about their current predicament. The basement of the Gentry's ward is haunted. The wailing sounds of ghosts and ghouls is keeping neighbours up at night. Some fear for them to break free and prey upon them. What better way to test our Pictomancy skills while also lending a hand to those in need? We take the fundamentals given to us by the Soul Crystal and use them against the fiends who dwell here. While our actual skill in artistry is laughable at best, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is your imagination which fuels the magic. The paintings are only there to strengthen it. Kupopo also says that a journey to new places is a feast for an imagination. A well-fed imagination produces more vivid pictures. The hero came to check on us at the entrance. As he can see, we are hale and whole. The basement is cleared and he need not worry about it anymore. He thanks us for taking the biggest problem from his plate and bids us farewell. I'm not sure if you caught that, but that beaming smile on his face after he learned what we did. Helping others whilst traveling. That is the true essence of Pictomancy. The soul crystal we are in possession of belonged to a master Pictomancer named Jean Tilloch. However, he has since passed away. He also had an apprentice named Beruru, and together the three of them traveled the star. That is who Kupopo is searching for. He must find her and make amends, as they left on a sour note. To do so, he wishes to retrace some of their footsteps, hoping someone might have caught wind of her. The first place we are going to is Camp Dragonhead in Coerthas. He has some memories of this place, of how Beruru pelted him with so many snowballs he was buried in snow. His trip down memory lane is interrupted by the very same hero from Gridania. Again, he needs our aid. He needs help tending to an Ishgardian's wound, as it is riddled with poison. His curative magics can no longer do anything for it. He needs to make medicine, but he's missing the most crucial ingredient, Heartbeast Horn. Camp Dragonhead doesn't have any on hand, so it is up to us to hunt one for him. A couple of guards give us directions to where one was recently spotted, near the stone vigil. As luck would have it, we find it, slay it, and return the horns to the hero. He is again beaming with gratitude. He accepts the horns graciously and quickly moves back to heal his ally. Some time passes and the hero returns along with the Ishgardian knight, who have both come to thank us once more. The knight also took the liberty of asking around Camp Dragonhead to see if anyone has seen a painter in these parts, and the resounding response is no. Not entirely disappointing, as we now know not to linger here in this region anymore. It is time for our next destination, Kugane. To get there, we stuffed Kupopo inside of a hempen sack so he'd be treated as one of our carryables and teleported to the Aetheryte. Seeing this scenery once again, he is reminded of his past. He couldn't believe his eyes when he first set foot in Kugane. They also had all the time in the world to view traditional paintings up close. Beruru even climbed the rooftops to the highest point of the city to get the best view possible. His trip down memory lane is interrupted by the cries of a person in need. The trader was in a recent storm, and during it, his most prized possession went overboard. He was told that his crate may have washed up on the shore, but that's Confederacy's business. No one is willing to cross the river and ask for him. Good thing he approached the right person for the job. We've had dealings with them before and even know their leaders. In fact, asking around Sakazuki reveals that they did find a crate matching that exact description. However, they won't just give it to us. They want to play a game instead. A challenge to see who can hunt the most ogre crabs. Winner gets to keep the crate. The man may have been a local hunter, but he does not match our natural ability to hunt. We double the number of shells he gathered. The crate is ours to return to the trader. Inside the crate is a painting, a Jean Tillac painting. He brought it from a Lalafell artist in Ul'dah, who happened to appear one day with a small trove of them. Upon hearing this news, Kupopo begins barraging the man with so many questions. Suddenly, the mood sours. The next words he says is, "Rumor has it that your friend passed on. Her room in the inn was tidy, so no signs of breaking and entering. She brought with her only paintings to sell for Gil. It is assumed she then went into somewhere quiet to end her life." Kupopo is shocked silent for a moment. He knew that Jean Tillac's death left a void in her heart, but not to this extent. He wishes to take some time alone to think about this news. Time has passed and we have come to check how he is faring. He makes no attempt to hide his sorrow. Clearly the news is still eating at him. The trader from before finds us and tells us that he wants to return the favor. He knows an informant who knows about anyone and everyone in Ul'dah. If we speak with him, then we may learn what truly happened to Beruru. Our next destination is Ul'dah, specifically the Emerald Avenue. We are to look for a bespectacled man with a self-satisfied grin. It doesn't take long to find the man with the grin that spells confidence. He divulges all the details which he knows about Beruru. She used the massive amount of gil she obtained from selling 8 Jean Tillac paintings to buy herself special accommodation in the ossuary. Afterwards, she disappeared. Not even the brass blades could find her, and in the end declared her voluntarily missing, presumed dead. This is all an assumption, mind you. He recommends we check her coffin and see for ourselves what is or isn't inside. Obviously, the priests are against the idea of us defiling the dead, especially if we aren't blood-related family. No matter the situation, the priest won't let us in. All we're doing is piling our own problems on top of his own. His own being that they are trying to expand the Erlich burial chambers downwards, but the excavators accidentally reached an unknown ruin and unleashed a horde of zombies near Sildil excavation site. Ignoring our current predicament, we head there with haste to clear out their current zombie problem. Upon returning, we learn the priest has spoken with Kupopo and learned he was the closest thing to family she had. In light of our recent assistance, he agreed to let us examine her coffin. Opening her coffin reveals it's empty. No body, no skeleton, only a painting remains. Jean Tillac's final piece, the Ephemeral Palace. The priest tells us that one day Beruru entered the burial chamber to purchase a tomb that she wanted prepared right away. Once it was ready, she asked for some time alone, so the priest stepped out of the room. A long time passed and eventually the priest checked how she was doing, only to find her missing. In her stead lay a single painting and a note telling him to place it in her coffin. As you can see, there's only one entrance and exit out of this room. They even had a large search party scour every inch of the burial chamber and they didn't find a single trace of her. Somehow, she completely disappeared into thin air. We do not know how, but that painting is linked to her disappearance. Kupopo tries to remember something, anything that could help him figure out why a painting would reside in her coffin. Until, suddenly, he realizes what it is. To explain it, he'll need to recount exactly what caused their initial falling out. Jean Tillac had grown too old for adventures, so they left him behind in a sanatorium, And for the first time, they set off on a journey as just the two of them. When they returned, they hoped to see his smiling face greet them home, but were instead met with a couple of his paintings and some of his items. In their absence, a beast managed to find its way into the sanatorium. He defended this place and everyone who dwelled within, but he spent too much of his remaining life to do so. He ended up dying. They both blamed themselves for it. If they took a shortcut here or didn't linger there, they might have made it in time to save his life. This ate at them, and together they grieved. She wept and wept and wept and wept, clinging onto Kupopo as the tears dampened his fur. In that moment, he said something he regrets every day. He told her she didn't need to depend on him. She could stand on her own as a Pictomancer. She shoved him away in anger. They traded unkind word after unkind word and shouted until their throats became sore. There was nothing left to say, so she took all of Jantilak's paintings and left. You see, Beruru was an exceptional Pictomancer. Not only did she have the power to create paintings, but to reshape them. A power so strong that he made her swear to never use that power, to not become one with the painting. That's what's happened here. She's become one with the painting. Kupopo has the power to enter this painting, but he can feel the malicious presence that resides within. He does not have the power to contend with anything that will bar his way to Beruru. That is why he wants us to come along with him, for his final mission. We accept without any hesitation. It's only mere moments until we're in a place that resembles the grand cosmos of the first, though Kupopo assures us that we are in the painting. Just as he had assumed, the path is treacherous. We do battle with various muses created by Pictomancy. One is a griffin they had all seen in Girabania. With the path clear, we eventually come face to face with Beruru. He tries to talk to her, but her mind is clouded with regret. She still blames herself for everything. He tries to speak some sense into her, but his path is blocked by a shade. A muse of Jantilak. Though this imitation is nothing like the man we've heard so much about. He unleashes an attack on Kupopo, sending him flying towards the entrance. He notices that we bear his soul crystal and threatens to get rid of us, the poor imitation. He wants to keep Beruru here forever, to protect her from the grief she feels in the real world. He won't let a pretender like us beat him. Not ever. The time to use everything we've learned is now. His soul crystal has guided us for this very moment, guiding us to free his pupil from her never-ending suffering. Everyone we've met and everything we've seen in our journey will empower our imagination to the fullest. With brush in hand, we do battle with the master Pictomancer, Jantilak. The battle is hard fought. Muse collides with muse, yet our imagination overpowers this imposter and we dispel the last remnants of Jantilak. This allows Kupopo to reach Beruru. He rouses her from a deep sleep. Her mind mostly back to normal. We can hear from her mouth the true reason she placed herself in this painting. It's because she didn't want to live in the outside world anymore. It was filled with nothing but sorrow. Jantilak saved her when she was in need, yet she wasn't there for him when he needed her most. She wanted to live here with her master, just like the old days. That way, she can forget all about her failure. Kupopo reassures her that there was no way she could have known. A Pictomancer cannot predict the future. She snaps at him again for being so cold to her, almost reigniting the argument they had in the past. But this time it's different. This time he stands firm and reaffirms his point. She needs to become a strong, independent Pictomancer and no longer rely on him. Because he is not real. He was the first muse she brought to life, her imaginary friend. Pictomancers bring their imaginations to life to bring hope to those in need. But no matter how harsh reality is, a Pictomancer isn't meant to paint over it. In giving hope to those in need, she too will find hope of her own. Those words hit her deep within herself. Maybe she too can find the strength to stand on her own by holding them in her heart. Upon hearing those words, Kupopo jumps for joy. Those are the words he has been waiting to hear her say. If anyone can do it, it's got to be her, because he knows how strong she is. Now she doesn't need to cling to him anymore. She can become the strong Pictomancer Jean Tillac always wanted her to be. He flies heavensward and unleashes a spell which dissipates the illusion, while also dispersing the remaining ether in his physical form. In his final moments, he says goodbye to us for the wonderful journey we've been on, and goodbye to Beruru, his one, true, and dearest friend. We awaken outside of the painting with Beruru. Kupopo is nowhere to be seen. When he returned himself to ether, that ether returned to her. It was warm and comforting. It must have been the same feeling she had when she first wove the magic to create him. It also gave her the memories of our journey together. The winter's chill in Coerthas, the sea breeze of Kugane, the lustrous forests of the Black Shrouds. All these memories and emotions have been shared with her. She felt his yearning for the old days, to be on the road with his friends. And among them is the joy he felt making a friend like us. She was just a child when she first saw a Moogle in the Twelveswood. She'll never forget that sight. The one that made her create Kupopo. It'd be easy to create another imaginary friend just like that, but she has since learned that loss isn't the end, but the beginning. She will carry both her master and Kupopo in her heart forever. Together the three of them will go on a journey. A new journey, where she will use her Pictomancy to paint a path of hope for all she encounters. And she expects we'll be doing the same as well. And that ends the Pictomancy Job Quest. A tale of friendship, a tale of loss, a tale of newfound hope. Hopefully we see Beruru again, because it would be lovely to exchange stories sometime in the future. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing if you're interested in content like this. What was your opinion on the video? Comment down below. I read almost every comment that gets commented. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal.